Hello and welcome back to my ranking series. This is Iron Vader 68. Today I will be ranking the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Before I get started, I will throw up a spoiler warning because Marvel is such a fun batch of movies and I don't want this video to be the reason people don't love it. This is all my opinion. It should not sway yours in any way. Since I have not and will not see The Incredible Hulk, I will be ranking 22 movies today. Out of all the movies, my least favorite is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I had high hopes for this movie and it was not great. For a comedic movie I was expecting to laugh throughout the movie but I only laughed at small jokes. Most of them aimed to be inappropriate which just made it awkward. Also, Ego is kinda annoying and makes all the characters split up, so I just didn't enjoy it very much. Number 21 is the first adventure in Asgard. Thor? Well, meh. I love Thor and he is one of my favorite superheroes but Jane Foster is annoying. I don't like most of the characters. The frost giants are annoying, but Loki is sweet though. I don't find interest in a god living with a bunch of annoying scientists. Unfortunately, the sequel was only a little better. At number 20 is Thor, The Dark World. Once again, meh. I don't care about Malaki or the Dark Elves, they gave me frost giant vibes. He is built up to be such a menacing character and he is defeated very easily. I do think that the alignment was cool though and Loki was cool too, but another underwhelming performance by Asgard. God's Righteous Man, the first Captain America takes number 19. I did find fun in this movie and Steve Rogers has easily risen to one of my favorite superheroes. I also liked Hydra but the Red Skull was another underwhelming villain. I also feel like there are some loopholes with how advanced the tech they were using was in World War II. While pretty cheesy, this is the first movie on this list I get excited while watching. One of the more funny movies, AntMan comes in at number 18. I don't like Darren, he seems too much like a baby. I also don't like Hope and Hank, but Scott is really funny and I liked his willingness to protect his daughter. I thought it was cool that Hydra was involved and there were some moments that I thought it was going to fall apart, so I enjoyed it. Plus, Louis is hilarious. A funny but flawed movie. The third generation of Spider-Man movies, Spiderman Homecoming is number 17. I like Spider-Man and I love Iron Man, but the people that are against Peter Parker are a minimal threat that I just don't get too enticed in. Ned is funny, so is Flash, but there are some places in this movie that I hope the plot gets moving along soon. The final battle is really cool and I was really into it then, but I am still confused as to why he turned down the Avengers offer. Another movie that I was underwhelmed by, Captain Marvel occupies the number 16 spot. I like the plot and the scrolls but I dislike the Kree and I couldn't care less about Carol Danvers herself. It felt like a drag with some funny moments. Nick Fury is the only peg holding this movie up at such a high spot. Number 15 was where the hard choices started to come in. I selected Iron Man for this spot. I actually really like Iron Man and he is by far my favorite superhero. I'm kinda bored by the 10 rings but a BDS Stone is an unexpected villain that I like to watch. I just think this movie could have done well being shorter and with a little more development in the areas that matter. The hilarious sequel to Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes 14th place. Once again, I just don't like most of the Ant-Man characters and Ghost was meh. I really liked how 4 different groups of people were going for the same thing though, that made the end very intense and fun to watch. Overall, it's not my first choice to watch but it is always an option. Another hard placement, Iron Man 2 takes the 13th spot. I may be a little biased because I loved this as a little kid, but I also liked how Tony has to learn about his father, Black Widow's entrance, Whiplash, and War Machine. I hate Justin Hammer but that is okay, I think everyone does. With many similarities to the first Iron Man, this movie is never disappointing to me. My number 12 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie is hilarious and has a suspenseful plot, which I think is a great way to introduce the most powerful Infinity Stone. I like most of the characters and they all have a pretty significant role minus Drax. I don't have much to say about this movie, other than the fact that I enjoy its fun, non-serious Marvel moviness. Avengers Age of Ultron is sitting on the number 11 spot. This movie is a great way to set up phase 3 of Marvel and the events that cause the splitting of the Avengers. I really like Ultron and I kinda like the Maximoff twins too. I also like that they made Jarvis into a superhero. Well, kind of. The final battle is very cool and keeps me watching, and I like that. The worst Avengers movie does not fall short of greatness. Perhaps the most confusing movie, Doctor Strange places number 10. I really like the idea of the multiverse and the wizards are all cool. I liked how everyone had their own artifact and the scene where Doctor Strange creates the time loop is one of my favorite Marvel scenes. I think that this movie was very creative and it was fun to watch. While my friends would not agree with this placement, I give the 9th place to Spider-Man Far From Home. I like Mysterio, he is a cool villain and I like a lot of things about him. He in ways reminds me of a BDS Stone. I also think that Peter gets a lot better in this movie and Nick Fury redeems himself from a not so funny Captain Marvel. The Stark drones were really cool too. I just really enjoyed this sequel. This is where the placing got really hard for me. The Avengers falls on number 8. The perfect end to the first phase of Marvel. This movie had a good 30-minute conclusion that did not disappoint. The tension between all the characters that had to be put aside made the entire movie better. Loki, once again, is one of my favorite Marvel characters and he himself contributed a lot to this movie. It sucks that I have to put it this low. My first Marvel movie, Iron Man 3, comes in at number 7. Once again, I may be biased but I love the Mandarin and how they are threatening. Ulrich Killian isn't my favorite character but he makes for a formidable villain. Robert Downey Jr. is great in this movie, giving a performance I for a fact did not expect. A frightful plot and good characters give this movie a very high ranking. Black Panther gets the 6th place medal. I have a lot to say about this movie. I love how they brought back Thor to use him more, otherwise he would have been very useless. I thought the plot of leaving a prince behind in California was a great plot and I was really excited throughout it. Killmonger was one of the best villains in Marvel and it would have been awesome if we got to see more of him. A futuristic country in Africa was a great idea and they pulled it off perfectly. The splitting of the Avengers. Captain America Civil War is number 5. Bucky is a very interesting character and very strong. I loved how this felt like an extra Avengers movie. It had a lot of that kind of action. The entire airport scene was really awesome and we got to see Spider-Man for the first time. A great way to set up the end of the Infinity Saga. Thor Ragnarok is number 4. In my opinion, this is the most funny Marvel movie. The plot is great and Hela is probably the most menacing villain to be in Marvel before Thanos. Thor becomes much better when he realizes how strong he is. Hulk is very funny and through him we got a new character, the Valkyrie. Oh yeah, I love Korg too. Overall it was an awesome movie that I have seen several times. Avengers Infinity War gets the bronze medal. Let me start off by saying no one expected Thanos to win. I think that surprised all of us. I loved the hunt for the Infinity Stones and the intense battle scenes throughout the movie. Thanos is a great villain, maybe a couple steps behind Darth Vader. It was like an event to go and watch and had deaths that pulled at my strings. It was so well written and for that, it makes the podium. I did not expect this movie to be so darn good. The Winter Soldier gets the number 2 spot. Hydra secretly hiding behind S.H.I.E.L.D. was a very cool reveal to me that shocked me and got me into it for most of the movie. Even the beginning of the movie on the ship was really cool. The takedown of the inside helicarriers was close to the coolest Marvel scene and boy did I enjoy it. Well done. I think most people expected this one, but my gold medal Marvel movie is Avengers Endgame, and it's not even close. While very depressing, it was such a satisfying end to the Infinity Saga. All of my favorite heroes got their time to shine. The time heist was very fun and a great way to revisit a great many of the Marvel movies. I don't really hate a single moment of this movie. Most people complain that the beginning is slow and non-entertaining but I really like it. Thanos is much better in Endgame with a cool sword and his whole freaking army. When Captain America picked up the shield, I was cheering. And my favorite Marvel moment ever, Iron Man saved the universe. An action-packed movie full of jokes, sad moments, and answered questions. What a movie. Thanks for watching. As always, thank you for checking this out. Feel free to see my Star Wars one too. I hope to see you in the next video.